August 14th, 2020. That's right. Another Friday, the final weigh-in. UFC 252, not 242, 252. DC versus Stipe 3. We're here to give you our final predictions, picks, and plays. And I brought some friends with me. Right over there, boom, we got the man with the master plan, the man with the Mr. Fat Fist, Mr. Boston Nick. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Hooking and jabbing, sticking and moving. Trying to find some spots in this card here to make some money. As we were kind of talking about a little bit backstage before we went live. That's few and far between, but we're going to make that dough. We're going to make it rain on these strippers once Corona's over, okay? I promise.
You know, Mr. Fat Fist loves them gentleman clubs. Right
I
above
like
me.
clubs.
Yeah. Yes, he does. The man right above me, you know him as the MMA prediction guru. What is up, brother?
What's up, man? Friday night. You know what always happens on Friday night. We always get together here and break down the fights after the weigh-in. So, hell yeah, we're back, baby.
Let's go. And y'all see that man right there? Hey, I call him the big brain of MMA, the big brain of DFS MMA. That's right. What's up, Brady, Mr. DFS by the numbers?
What's up, guys? What's up, everybody in the chat? Had a fantastic week last week. It seems like everybody on the Odd Squad had a fantastic week, so hopefully we keep it going into this card. It's a great card, great main event, great co-main event, great main card in general. So we're looking forward to getting into it and making some money this week.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, we're going to cash these tickets. That's what we do. We go cash it.
Let's go.
All day Saturday, so that's how it goes. Before we get things rolling, it's your boy Mo. I'm the host around here. Going to be navigating things, and let's get this bad boy started.
Before we do, can I give everybody a shout out? John King, Razor Sharp Picks. Woo. John King was number one to the show first. Jonah, Will Wowie. We got Mr. Bakan. We got Manny. We got Mr. Stephen H. Green. Stephen Dollery. Mr. Bryson Mon, as usual. We got, there we go. Well, again. Hey, I appreciate the love, brother. Bills Omega. Some new names. I like this. Mr. Marashi Rochelle. Sorry if I got that incorrect, but Ryan, Brandon Ortega, everybody that showed up. I appreciate every one of y'all. Stellar, Jacksonville's up in the house. Charlie Chips, everybody. Josh Lord, you guys are the shit. Seriously. Josh Lord.
That's right. My bad, guys. Got a lot of things going. Hey, I got this OKC Clips game going. I need them to score 200, so I'm looking at that too. So you might see me get really mad or very happy along the way. Just like he said, thanks to each and every one of y'all that decided rocking with us on this Friday night. We love each and every one of you. If you enjoy this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. All right, that's how YouTube knows that you enjoy the type of content that we do here. Also, this is powered by the one and only odds.com. That's right. Doing big things around here, folks. If you could, I will drop a link in the chat later for some articles on odds.com. If you could copy and paste those, put those in your web browser, and go give the website a check. Hey, check it out. Check some articles out. Spend some time on there. Browse. That helps us out. That's our way of paying back odds for allowing us to do this. So if you could do that, it would be a lot more support than you even know. So go do that for your boys. It'll be highly appreciated. And make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification now.
Hell is to the yeah. And also, guys, retweet this to all your family members, friends, foes. I don't give a damn. Let's go.
Hey, where's that button at, Nikki?
Right below there. Right below Mr. Mo.
Right there. Right there.
There it is.
First fight on the card, we got Kamaka the third versus Tony Kelly. Yo, Nikki, you got some odds on this?
I absolutely do. Right now we got Kelly at plus 195 best case scenario. He's hovering right around that plus 175, plus 180 range. And then you get the comeback on Mr. Kamaka. Right around minus 205 best case scenario, 250 in some books.
Woo, Guru, how about you pop this one off, sir?
Yeah, this is an interesting fight. It's a new addition to the card, obviously. I don't know if they were actually going to be on the card if Kute Laba didn't fall off, but, here we are with them. And, I think that they're both probably UFC level, but they kind of have different styles. Kamaka, he's the younger guy. I think he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Well-rounded. He has kind of a Muay Thai counter style on the feet, good leg kicks, good counter punching, and then he has good wrestling as well. So, good double leg takedowns, good control on top. And for his opponent, he's more of a guy that likes to keep the range, throw more flashy strikes on the feet. He's pretty dynamic on the feet. I mean, I feel like if someone gets finished standing, it'll probably be Kamaka. And but his wrestling isn't really there. He doesn't have great wrestling. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good, but he's one of those guys that, he'll attack chokes instead of defending the submissions. He likes being on his back. And Kamaka is a guy with good control. He could keep guys down. So how I see this fight kind of going is Kamaka getting the takedowns, controlling on top, and winning a decision. But, Kelly is live because he could get a finish here. So I think that, if you're looking for a finish, you got to look at Tony. If you're looking for a decision, it's probably going to be Kamaka for the win there.
Yeah, I pretty much agree there. I mean, he's got great forward pressure. He is 25-year-old to Kelly at age 33, going on 34. Former Bellator fighter in 2019. I think he had 2 or 3 wins over there in that organization. Not a bad organization, second to best to UFC, arguably, I guess. And then he went to LFA for a fight before the UFC signed him. Kelly, what I saw from him in the striking range, in the striking department, grew just a little bit brawlerish to me. You know what I mean? I really think that Kamaka is the crispier striker out of the two. And I did see him start to gas. It looks like after a round or so, it looks like after he starts to go ham on somebody, he's the guy that starts to kind of lose the steam. I like Kamaka here. I really do. And it's not a bet yet, just a strong lean. Now, value, you can take both guys inside the distance. You can get plus 305 for Kamaka, plus 370 for Kelly. If you want to take a little sprinkle on both of them.
Oh, a little sprinkle. Now, Big Brain, I have a specific question for you, and then you can hit yours. So, first fight of the night, DFS. Is this a must play? Is this a stay away? I know do you normally like to attack the first fight?
I do. It's because, well, for one, nobody is going to know who these guys are, and for two, nobody really likes playing the first fight of the night. So it is going to be low owned, but man, with Kamaka's style, it just doesn't look like he'd score high, and he's 8,900. So just how the fight plays out. Was able to go back and watch some more tape on Kamaka. I think he's a fantastic wrestler, really good top game. But when he's in top, he just doesn't do much. He doesn't really look for submissions. He doesn't really land ground and pound. On the feet, he's pretty low volume. I wish he would do more on the feet. And he leaves a lot of openings to get hit. So I am going the other way and picking Kelly. I just think, he has more to offer on the feet. He's going to throw more volume. He's more dangerous. Kamaka has not – I think he's finished 1 fight out of his 9 fights in total. So I'm going to go Kelly as for an underdog pick here. Not overly confident, but I think the line should be a little closer. But I do think that Kamaka could possibly take down Kelly and just really grind him out for minutes at a time and win a very boring decision. And as we know, that's not going to score high on DraftKings. As for Kelly, like Gru said, if someone finishes this fight, it's probably going to be him. He's finished 80% of his fights total. And at 7,300, first fight of the night, I'll have some Kelly, but probably going to be very, very low owned, if not full fading Kamaka at 8,900.
Well, Brady, I mean, you like him inside by knockout, plus 370. You know what I mean?
It's not bad. If he does win, it's probably by finish. I don't really see him winning a decision.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Chat, just real quick, 2 things. So somebody asked, why am I holding my mic? Because I was trying to make sure it sounds good. Let me know in the chat, how's it coming without me holding it? Let me know, do I need to hold it up close to my mouth? But second thing, we in overtime, baby. That's right. Let's cash these tickets, son. Huh? Let's go.
Told you, overtime's going to bring you to the over.
I mean, let's just hope they don't break every single fucking basket in overtime. But let's go. I'm on Kamaka. These boys said everything. I don't really have a strong lean either way. Listen to the boys. Let's get on to fight number 2. We got Chris Dawkins versus Parker Porter. Chris Dawkins coming in 8-3. Parker Porter coming in 10-5. Yo, Nikki, drop me some odds, please, sir.
Yeah, this fight is unreal.
Hey, Parker Porter's the man, bro. Don't you dare. Don't you dare put anything bad on Parker Porter's name, bro.
We're going Parker the pig. All right, Parker Porter, minus 110. It's basically a pick 'em. All right, you got basically a small lean towards Parker Porter when it comes to the bookies. We'll call it a pick 'em.
Nice. Thank you, Zoe. Zoe says that I do not need to hold it. Appreciate it. Yo, Big Brain, you want to pop this one off?
Yeah. I mean, man, this is going to be probably the ugliest fight on the whole card. Fight I'm really not looking forward to watch, but it could be exciting or it could be a really sloppy heavyweight fight. So at the weigh-ins, I noticed that Porter, I don't know if I was seeing things, but it looked like he was putting in some work, like lifting weights or something. He looked like a lot better than he has been in the past couple fights. As for Dawkins, it kind of looked like he just got up off the couch. He didn't look like he was in the best of shape. So I don't know. Porter weighed in at 264, almost the max limit. He didn't look bad to me. But as for the fight goes, I just think Dawkins is probably the more athletic fighter. He hits harder. He's probably the better fighter overall. But I don't know. Porter has the experience there. He has 15 fights. Compared to Dawkins' 11. Porter's been doing MMA since 2007, 2008. But this is a very tough fight to call. I think you'd be, not smart to bet it either way. If anything, just sit back and watch two big guys go at it and hope somebody gets knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the weigh-ins, I was like, man, these guys are in phenomenal shape. Like, wow, diet. They're lifting weights. They're running.
Vegans. I think they're both vegan.
And let me tell you something. Both those guys need to get on Jenny Craig, okay? And that being said, that should be the first fight in the card. The only reason why it isn't because they don't want to start off with an absolute bore fest. These guys are pitiful. I mean, there wasn't much tape on both guys. I saw a little bit of Dawkins. I found a little bit of Parker. I know with Parker, I saw him get knocked out by, believe it or not, John Jones in 2010. He got knocked out by. But zero read on this fight. I do think it doesn't go the distance, though. So, but that's probably juiced to minus 7,000. So, I mean, this is like a freak fest type fight. So, Parker Porter versus the fatter Dawkins. I mean,
Parker Porter.
What you think about Guru?
Guru, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you guys got to maybe give a little credit to Dawkins. I think his last fight when he weighed in against that, I don't even remember, Danny Holmes or whatever. He was 258 this time. At least he's 241. So he lost he almost lost 20 pounds. But that's good. I mean, I don't know, man. He still doesn't. He looks like he could probably even make 205 even. Easy. But I just feel like Porter. He's like a deliberate guy, like kind of a decisionator. But he gets a lot of submissions on the ground when guys are tired, like first low level guys, and he has decent striking, decent leg kick, but. I don't know. I think Dawkins is a little more explosive and a little bit better boxing, a little bit more power in that first round. So I'm going to go with Dawkins by first round knockout.
Can you believe that fight doesn't go to decision is only minus 285?
Oh, that's it. Yeah. You mean sloppy heavyweights that are going to get tired and just swing and bang?
Then, you know what I mean? I mean, it's that or you take the plus 225 fight going the distance, but I mean, wow.
I mean, I know Dawkins, he's never been to the third round before.
You can take the over 1.5 at minus 122. That's not bad.
So what do you boys think about this? This was kind of my first initial thought is I saw Dawkins. Dawkins is clearly the more technical fighter, the better overall fighter, the less fat fighter. But then you watch that, maybe his last fight against Zoo, he was in UFC for a fight or whatever, and he was winning the fight until he wasn't, until he got hit with that big overhand, and then think of how is Parker Porter built? He's kind of built like Zoo. How does he fight? He kind of fights like Zoo. He kind of just swings and bangs. So that's the only reason why I'm not solid on Dawkins. I think Dawkins is clearly the better fighter. It's just I think Parker Porter is going to be swinging them meat bombs. And I think that needs to be his new nickname, Parker Meatball Porter.
That or meat chops.
Or roast beef or something food related for sure.
Oh, the Blues tied it to go to overtime. Blues going to overtime.
Shit, man. I need them Canucks to win. Hey, I'm a degenerate like y'all. But your boy's about to cash on these two right here. I doubled up on this one. That's right. We doubling up. But I think my pick is Dawkins. I'm going to go with a better technical fighter and just hope that he doesn't get hit by that big right hand by Parker Meatball Porter. So that's my pick here is Dawkins.
Let me ask you guys, think Kyle could beat up both these guys?
I think Kyle definitely bullies his – is that his big brother or little brother?
I think it's his older brother, and he's definitely way bigger.
No, he's definitely the bigger brother, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, pork chop quarter. I like that, Thomas. So, guys, are we betting this? Is this a pass, a stay away? Guru, are you getting crazy?
Betting that I'm going to be
dropping
drinking
5
Miller
stacks
Lite.
on this?
Yeah, I'm going to be drinking. I'm betting that I'm going to be drinking Miller Lite, eating popcorn at the same time.
Hey, we cashing that over?
That might be a look though, over 1.5. Maybe these guys just are that sloppy and they're actually at the same level to the point where they can get over 1.5 rounds, but maybe not. You know what I mean?
1.5 rounds. That's a long time for them to be in there.
I know.
I don't know. I don't think they'll make it, dude. Maybe they will.
Hey, okay, under 2.5 at -250. That's parlayable.
Yeah, I mean, I would be if they make it over to decision. That fight will be horrible.
Oh
this is dang near like betting on women's MMA right now on this one right here. I am worried about Dawkins. I mean, I'm definitely not going to make a play on this. I only have one official bet in right now. I'll do more of mine live while it's going or whatever. As we're talking right here, I might lock one in if the boys talk me into it. So, yeah, no, as of right now, I'm not betting this one, but I'm kind of with Guru. I mean, I see this ending. Like, I see it ending. I just don't know which side it's going to be on. But fight number 3, we got Olivia, the Brazilian gangster Souza versus Ashley Yoder. Souza coming in 13-2, Yoder coming in 7-5. Nick, you got some odds on this?
Yes, I do. All right, we got Souza -150 best case, hovering right around the -160-ish range, right there to get that mean. And then the comeback at +140 best case scenario, right around the +135, +130 range.
Nice. Guru, pop this off, please, sir.
Yeah, this should be a decent fight. Yoder fights usually aren't that entertaining, so I mean maybe it could end up being like that. But Souza, she's one of at least the more entertaining girls for that division. She's finished a lot of fights, 10 out of 13 fights. Black belt on the ground, black belt in judo as well, and she has power in her hands. She throws good body kicks, good liver kicks. She's finished people with that. She's finished people with punches, finished people with submissions. Yoder, she is going to be the bigger, longer girl, like height wise. So, but she doesn't really use her height very well. So I feel like it's going to end up being a scramble fest, like a lot of Yoder's fights. And I just think Olivia is better in that situation. I mean, in the clinch, I think she is a lot better. I think she actually has pretty tricky back takes in the clinch. She's a lot better on the ground, in my opinion, too. So, I mean, there's a path to victory for Yoder, like if she can control her against the cage or something, or I don't know. I mean, if she can get on top and control her, I would be kind of surprised. So I feel like Souza will probably win this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Souza wins as well.
It's official. All right, go ahead.
There you go. All right.
I was sweating bullets for a second, bro. I was sweating bullets. These motherfuckers waited 26 seconds to score 199 points in overtime.
Well, shit happens. But then you cash, right?
That's right. Go ahead.
But yeah, you got Souza at 5'3", smaller girl, 5'7", I believe. 5'7". Yoder is. That being said, at the weigh-in, she did look a little bit bigger, but just taller. I mean, Souza just looked more filled out, more muscle. I mean, or just thicker. But listen, Souza didn't have a great showing in her last fight. We all know that against Van Buren. She lost that fight, who then lost to Tisha Torres. Van Buren did. But she has nice kicks to the body. I really like them. Really nice left hook, followed up with that overhand right, crisp down the pipe. Yoder, on the other hand, just lost to Randa Marcos, a.k.a. Clint's side chick.
Ooh, side piece.
Yeah, that's a side piece right there. It was a close split decision, but she lost. Before that, though, she beat, Yuri Kondo and Amanda ABC Cooper, not with the company anymore. Kondo couldn't buy a freaking win if she had enough money to do it. But that being said, I'm fading Yoder here. I believe Souza gets this done. Decision. I mean, who is Yoder beat in the UFC? I think she's right now 2-4 in the organization, right? Every stat that I looked at favored Souza, from the amount of strikes, per 15 minutes, 3.65 to 2.02. This is a funny one. Takedown average 1.25 per 15 minutes to 4.59, and then you get the submission average at 0.75 for Yoder, 3.67 for Souza. I mean, you know where I'm going. Souza.
Oh, Souza. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I just kind of see – I think it might be a little bit more fishy than what people are thinking. I think that Souza, she doesn't throw a whole lot of volume on her feet, but she's a little bit more crisp. But whereas Yoder good? Yoder's a decent grappler, and that's where Souza's really good. So I see Souza taking her down at some point, playing the top game with her. They call Yoder the spider monkey for a reason. So I could see some kind of crazy scramble, something like that. But I think ultimately that Souza's going to be able to control at least 2 to 3 rounds and pick up a 29-28 decision. So, Nikki, what is Miss Souza by decision?
I think we missed. Did Brady go? Angaru?
No, I didn't go yet.
Oh, Brady, my bad, Big Brady.
I mean,
pump that jam, pump it up.
Pump that jam, pump it up. You take that hoodie off.
Pump it up. No, it's cold in my apartment, but
Jesus, son, it's August.
It's like 68 in here. But as for the fight goes, I like Souza in this fight, but I'm not really as confident as other people seem to be. I think she's, definitely the more talented fighter, but I just have a feeling, Yoder can make this a close fight if she can stuff the takedowns. Nick brought up some great numbers. I'm a numbers guy, so I do like to hear that. Souza does average 4.59. Good to see that. But if Yoder is able to stuff some of those takedowns on the feet, I feel like it could be close. But even on the feet, I do favor Souza, ever so slightly. I think she's the faster fighter. I think she hits harder. I think she's more dangerous. She's finished like 80% of her fights. So I'm going to go with Souza just to be able to do more and win a decision. But it's not something I want to bet on. But I do think she wins probably by decision with an upside of maybe getting a submission as well.
Very nice. So how are you betting this, Brady? Is this a play for you or is this a fapping? Are you fapping on that?
I'm fapping on a lot of these first couple fights for sure.
What about DFS? Is this any type of – what's your percentage looking like on both these girls?
I'm going to have like very, very little Yoder, but I might have some Souza because she's going to be low-owned because she does finish a lot when she wins. So maybe she's able to maybe submit Yoder, maybe even knock her out. So going to have some Souza, but overly not too interested in this fight as a whole.
I like Souza. I'm going to lock in that minus 150 right now. I think this is the lowest it's been, I believe. I'll double check, but yep, 147 is the lowest. So I'm going to lock in the minus 150 in Souza.
Oh, nice. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. Nice.
Guru, you doing anything here or no? You fapping it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to stay away. I do think Souza inside the distance is like plus 435, and she's finished like 10 out of her 13 wins. So maybe you could see her get a finish there, but I'm probably just going to pass on the fight.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Cardone. What's up, guys?
We got 182 people in here. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us. If you could, that little share button right down below, if you could share that on your social media, if you could share it on any type of groups you're in, anything like that, let's spread the word. Let them know that we're making money on 252 tonight. So you got to be tuned in to lock them in right now because Odd Squad, we move numbers. So after tonight, numbers are going to be shooting up. So you better lock them in tonight. Next up, we got.
I've been looking at that too. You're right.
Yeah. After our shows, it seems it moves a little bit of numbers. So appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Let's spam that like. Hey, we're going to do a like NATO here in a little bit, guys. We're going to give y'all about 10 seconds to make sure you smash that like button.
Rambling. I got to mention Rambling.
Rambling's the man.
Yep. The twins will be boxing, which means there's two set of twins. Obviously, there's two of them. Well, yeah, the two means twins. That's a dumb freaking statement. That being said, they're going to be having a boxing match against each other. And one weighs 160, one weighs 165. Their dad was.
Is this going to be live?
Yeah. Yep. They're going to stream it off their YouTube channel. And, their dad was a Gold Glove boxer, so they're going to go at it here soon. So
the twins are legit. Love me some Rambling Gambling. They're actually going to be coming on my channel, Most Stream TV, Most Sports, and we're going to be doing some roundtables. Nikki's going to be there. Guru can be there. Brady can be there. I just told the boys that we can get them on. They're trying to get some love, guys. They started a YouTube channel. They said that they were betting UFC, and, hey, they decided they want to share their knowledge. So, hey, right there. Hey, bring them up, Nikki, so people can see how their names are spelled. Right there, Rambling and Gambling Sports. Y'all go type that in your YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. because these boys are bringing fire. They're in our Discord too. So I know Nikki's going to drop that link in the private chat for me, and I'll drop that for you as well. We got a free Discord that we're talking bets all day. So make sure to click that and join as well. Shout out to the twins, Rambling and Gambling.
Buy him. I put in the chat. Discord's in the chat, guys. If you guys, there's already like 130, 40 people in there. Jump on in. It's fun. We got all sports, everything.
Right there, boys. Next up, we got the man from Little Rock, Arkansas. Might be a little biased on this one. Guru, shut your mouth. We got TJ Brown coming in 14-7. A little salty record, but don't judge. Coming in, facing Danny Chavez, 10-3. Nicky, you got some odds for me, brother?
I absolutely do. Right now, we got Chavez at plus 137, best case scenario. Right around the plus 130 range, though, plus 125. As low as, though, in some books, which I wouldn't want to have, plus 117. TJ Brown comeback at minus 147 in 2 books. Minus 155 is probably the average, minus 150 in most books.
All right, this is a two-parter right here. Number one, Zoe, shut your mouth. I think Nick was going to click it the same time I was going to click it, and it took you off. I was going to let you know, Zoe, I love you. Love you like a brother. But shut your mouth. But then also Big Brain. But I didn't mean to skip you last time, brother. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you 15 seconds to let everybody know real quick where can they find your banging breakdowns, just like the one you did 2 hours before this.
All right, you guys can find me on DFS by the numbers on YouTube. You guys can find me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, and you can also find me on Instagram, DFS by the numbers.
There you go. That's my apologies, sir. Just don't beat me up next time. Why don't you pop this one off, Brady?
All right. This is a kind of a weird fight, but I think it's going to be extremely exciting. So there wasn't much tape on Chavez. I think I was only able to watch like 3 or 4 fights, if that. The one fight I did get to watch, he was fighting in like 2016. He was taken down a couple times. But as you know, you can make so much improvements in, like a 4-year span. So we can't look too much into that. But as for TJ Brown, I really like this guy. I think he has a very, very good wrestling, very good grappling. The thing about Brown is he just, makes a lot of mistakes on the mat. He's been submitted 3 times. He's been knocked out twice. I've seen him get dropped a bunch. And I think he's going to be the more talented fighter. I think if he comes in here with the game plan of using his wrestling, using his grappling, he can have a lot of success. But on the feet, I'm really worried that, Chavez maybe can knock him out. Chavez has knocked out his last 3 opponents. Before that, surprisingly, his first 7 wins were all by decision. So that's kind of weird there. And when it gets on the mat, I didn't realize this at first, but I went on Chavez's Instagram, and I guess he's a BJJ black belt. And that really scares me because I've seen Brown make a lot of mistakes on the mat. So I do like Brown. I'm not going to bet it, but I think he wins this fight, get with the wrestling and the grappling. But I'm just worried at some point maybe Chavez is able to crack him or maybe even submit him. Chavez by submission is plus 1455. That's something I was maybe looking at sprinkling in, but overall, I think Brown's going to win this fight if he fights smart and doesn't make any mistakes.
What's funny is a BJJ black belt, but he has 0 submissions on his record.
Exactly, it's weird.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But everything he throws is with like serious intention. I mean, he looks to take your head off, whether it's a head kick or overhand right or a leg kick. But like you were mentioning, he leaves. I know you're talking about he's susceptible to being taken down. It's because he leaves that lead leg sitting there waiting. And what I think TJ's going to do is going to suck up that lead leg if he doesn't get knocked out.
Single leg.
Suck up that lead leg, put right down to the mat. And we all know that's what Brown is trying to do here. He's trying to take it to the mat. He's got great top control, and once he does take it to the mat, that's one thing I really like about him. But it's weird. It's in my notes. He puts himself in bad situations constantly, time in, time out. So, but it's no surprise. I think it's going to take I think it's a chance to take it to the ground. I think that's it. I honestly think that Chavez isn't a submission threat to him. So I don't think he's going to be in any type of danger whatsoever. 0 submissions on his record, as I was saying. So it's not like Jordan Griffin that subbed him?
Yeah.
Jordan Griffin. He was in side control one in, one out, and he got choked out. That was just, and he kept putting himself in that position. He was winning that fight up until then. So I do like TJ Brown here. I'd like him a lot. Chavez is also 33 years old on the back end of his career. So TJ Brown for me, motherfucker. Let's go.
Man. What you thinking, Guru? I know I know what you're thinking, but how about you tell everybody else what you're thinking?
Yeah, man, this is a good fight. I mean, I feel like this is going to be, contender for fight of the night. But, man, I mean, I don't know. I could see why you guys maybe are confident in TJ Brown, but, like, I don't know. I mean, the guy got knocked out by someone that was 13-16 in 2018. I mean, think about that. I mean, he's getting knocked out by guys that have 13 wins and 16 losses. And you're telling me he can't get knocked out by this guy, Danny Chavez, who could move really well, real good counter striker, good freestyle wrestling kind of thing, and he kind of moves pretty well. But I do think he gets kind of crazy when he hurts you. He could close the distance kind of crazy too.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I mean, if this
fight been fighting though, Guru. I mean, it's been like XFN 22, Shogun fights, Global Legion FC. He keeps
Jason Torres, like Jason Torres. If you ever watch that guy fight, he's like a beast. Like pretty good. He fights in Titan, right? I don't know if you've ever seen him.
Fight Time 29.
But no, I'm saying he fights in Titan though. Jason Torres, the guy he went 5 rounds with. That guy would smoke TJ Brown, dude. He would smoke TJ Brown, and he went 5 rounds with that guy. So, but I mean, TJ, he has a good head kick, and on the feet he's real wild and has power. But he gets dropped in almost every single fight that he's in. He's going to come in here where he's going to really be trying to press the wrestling. He didn't make weight, so who knows how his training camp went? Who knows how his cardio is going to be after that? Man,
exactly, Guru.
He was like 146.5, so he really tried to make it. He just couldn't make it. So
I don't like that.
I don't know. I feel like he's gonna probably be either get knocked out in the first round or be winning and then make a mistake and get submitted or get finished. So I'm gonna go with Chavez here.
Look at you. Hey, are you betting it? Is it a prediction?
Nah, I mean, I can't bet on it because I
know you can't, bro. Because we're talking Little Rock, boy. You can't go against Arkansas, boy.
TJ Brown last time, man. What the fuck was that? That pissed me off.
I think that's a good look from locker room, and I was looking at that as well. It was going to be my prop bet for this. It was going to be no distance. She locked in at -160, but I believe right now, no distance.
Good. Yeah, shout out to MMA Locker Room.
Yep. I like that look.
Good looking out, brother. Yeah, shout out to MMA Locker Room. Y'all go check him out on all social media, MMA Locker Room. He is part of the Odds Squad. Me, I might be a little biased. I'm going TJ as well. Little insider fact. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But started back class last night, boys. Hit the dojo. We couldn't spar. We couldn't grapple with all this.
Are you sore?
Stuff. No, man. Hey, your boy's in impeccable shape, I guess.
Come on.
Right. I mean, I might be a little bit, but I'm not going to act like I'm not going to say I am. But the thing is my coach has worked a lot with Mr. TJ, and he was in the corner of Bryce Mitchell's very first UFC fight. Go back, watch that bald guy in the ring after he won. Boom, that's your boy's sensei. So he was telling me, yeah, in this fight right here, if we see a TJ come out backing up a lot, trying to throw hands a lot, trying to throw that high kick a lot against Chavez, he's going to get knocked out. If he tries to stand and bang, but that's not the plan. The plan is to come in, use the small cage and grapple. But he said the thing with TJ, he said, TJ is not Bryce. That's exactly what he said to me. He goes, Yo, Mo, TJ's not Bryce. They're not made of the same material. So, you know what I mean? It's, even though I think TJ is going to come out and use his grappling, and I think it's a good play on DK as well to get those 5 points of pop on the takedowns. But I just don't know about that chin, man. His chin is super, super questionable. Chavez does come out and bang. He throws heaters, throws bombs. I'm ultimately going to pick TJ probably by submission. I do think this ends inside the distance, but man, I don't know if I'm going to bet it yet.
The thing he's 33. He's been fighting since 2011, and he's not been invited to a UFC fight up until now. So you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a setup fight, one of those type of things for TJ. But hey, he could shit in TJ's apple pie real quick, right?
He looked confident at the weigh-in. They were talking shit.
They were jawing back and forth. Yeah,
TJ wasn't. It looked like he was saying much. It looked like Chavez was kind of talking to him, and TJ was just like,
"No, they're doing." But that's the thing. You know what? TJ didn't. I mean, he made one. He didn't make weight, but he was 0.5 off. But he didn't look like sucked out horribly. So that's one thing I did notice.
It looked like when he like missed weight, he was like shocked, like he thought he was gonna make it or something. Like,
Probably a bad skill. You know what I mean?
But I don't get why he didn't go back and make weight though. Like he had time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little whack.
Coming out there, good to go.
What do y'all think about that new box they got to stand in?
Yeah, they had that for the chicks though forever, but I don't know why they. I guess it's easier than the towel.
Guru, they're called women, bro, not chicks. This is 2020, bro.
God, 2020, dude. Hey, 233 of you in here.
Oh shit! I wanted to show some love. That's kind of what we're about here. We're just a bunch of regular dudes, right? That we are blessed the chance to get chosen to do something like this. So I like to give people credit where credit is due. This young man right here, Justin Jr., he might be a young phenom right here. Go check his channel out. I think it's Justin Jr. 962. But go check my man out. He's like 13 years old, boys. He's going to be like the next little Ariel Helwani. He has interviews. He does all that. He's a good kid. Go check him out. So I just wanted to show some love to Justin Jr.
Justin J.
Justin J, man. I wish if I'd have been doing that when I was 13, woo. Guru, have you been doing this since you were 13?
Nah.
I mean, how long you been in the game, Guru?
Doing like picks and shit. I mean, like a couple years, like 3 years or something.
Yeah, you're still a young buck. And we got the world's strongest man over here, guys. Y'all know what I'm talking about. No. Martine Lisi's right here. Let's get on to the next one, guys.
Let's go.
We got Felice Harry coming in 14-8 versus Verna. Sexy name, Verna Jandaroba, coming in a sweet record of 15-1. Nikki, you got some odds on this, sir?
Yeah. Sweet name, but she looks hideous.
Yeah. Dude, that name, she does have a lazy eye, but that's Verna, man.
We got Verna a heavy favorite at minus 300-ish. As low as minus 288, but right around the minus 300, as high as minus 333. In some cases, come back at plus 260. Best case scenario for Felice Herrig, hovering right around the plus 230 range, plus 240 range.
Nice. Yo, big brain, you want to pop this one off?
Yeah, another fight I'm not, overly interested in, but I do think Jandaroba wins. It's just the line is crazy, like you mentioned, like minus 300. I don't think she should be that wide of a favorite. But ultimately, I think it could play out close on the feet. I just don't think it's going to stay there all that long. Jandaroba has some pretty good trips, pretty good takedowns. Jandaroba does average 4.23 takedowns per 15 minutes. I see her getting Herrig down and doing some work on the mat. Maybe submitting her. She has finished 80% of her wins by submission. So maybe she submits her, but ultimately I'm going to pick her to win by decision, just getting takedowns, doing some work on the mat. But if Herrig's able to stop the takedowns, it could be a close fight. I don't think she'll look like a minus 300 favorite if this fight plays out on the feet for long periods of time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think Verna wins this fight. The line is whacked. It's like whacked sideways. But that being said, I mean, I just hope Felice Herrig doesn't get pooped on again like Justine Kish did to her. Yep. I mean, she had a decent showing in her Verna had a decent showing in her last fight against, I think it was like Mallory Martin. And I think she ended up choking her out in the second round. She does have some really good BJJ. And both these girls, it's going to be a grappling fest. It's not going to be a stand-up striking fest. Verna doesn't have great stand-up. She tries to punch into the clinch and take you down. Felice Herrig likes to bully you up against the fence and try to take you down as well. So either way this goes, I really think it ends up on the mat. And if it ends up on the mat, the BJJ 1,000% it favors Verna. So it shouldn't be this way when it comes to the lines, but we're going to probably see why tomorrow night when she probably subs her out before the second round or third round. So Verna, for me.
Nice. There you go. What you think about it, Guru?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting fight. I was waiting. This was one of the fights, I was waiting for today because I wanted to see how Felice looked because she always looks like in great shape. She was coming off a pretty long layoff, and she looks really good at the weigh-ins again. I mean, how she usually looks. She looked bigger than Verna, obviously, but she always looks bigger than everyone she fights and everything. And yeah, kind of like they said, Verna, I feel like on the feet, isn't very good, and she doesn't really set up her takedowns that well with her strikes. But what she is good at is she's good at timing takedowns, like just moving around, waiting, like very limited striking. And then when you come forward, she, times that double, times that body lock trip really well, takes you down, gets on top. And on top, she's pretty good. I mean, she has good submissions, real good when she can take the back. But like you saw when she fought Carla Esparza and she can't take you down, she's very limited. She was throwing those horrible body kicks that Carla was like seeing coming a mile away, taking her down. And on top, Carla was able to control her fairly well. I mean, it's not like Verna swept her a couple times. And, I think she got close on maybe at one submission or something. But Carla, won that fight easily, and she won the grappling as well. I mean, she took her down, controlled her on top. So, I mean, there's a possibility Felice could, win the striking. And, if she could stuff the takedowns, hold her against the cage or get on top and win a decision. But I don't know. I think with the layoff and her coming in, maybe she'll be a little rusty. Maybe Verna will be able to time some takedowns. And I don't think she'll submit her, though. I don't think she's going to submit Felice unless Felice just looks real old. But I think she'll probably win a decision.
Yeah, okay. No, with Felice coming off that knee injury, she's an older lady fighter. They kind of, they don't expire. They expire a little quicker in the fighting game. I think we're going to see a decent Felice Herrig, but I think that Verna's going to be able to drag her to the mat, and we're going to see Verna probably win by decision, in my opinion. I think that Verna strikes at a real low volume. That it's going to be, Felice might get the better of the two on the feet, but I think Verna's real good in the grappling department to be able to get her to the ground, establish, control. Felice is, decent on the ground, so I could see her not getting sub. But this is women's MMA. And just like I said last week, I'm done betting on women's MMA until I can at least get a decent read on it. You know what I'm saying? If Yoder and Felice come out and win this week, boys, I'm not even going to comment. I'm not even going to say nothing about women's MMA ever again.
I might sprinkle a little bit on Verna by submission. Plus,
you guys see Boston Nick's girl got a fight, Lauren Murphy.
Oh, that's his boo thing.
Who's talking about boo thing? Who just talked about
that's his boo thing?
Oh,
hey,
God,
her face. And Verna.
Sorry.
The lovelies.
Now, Agapova's fighting next week, so that'll be a lock for a girl fight.
Hey, that is your boo. That
favoritism.
You got Shada Dobson.
That is a lock. So
it's a straight up lock, but Guru, that is your boo thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I mean, I just like the way she fights, dude, more than anything. Like,
hey guys, Guru had her on his channel. So I'll give you, hey Guru, you got 20 seconds. I'm gonna give you 5 more than I gave Big Brain because we're talking about a lady here. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find that interview where you actually got to sit down and interview Agapova?
Yeah, man. If you want to just go to MMA Prediction Guru on YouTube, you can find that interview there. But yeah, I mean, I just like the way she fights, man. I mean, she takes these chicks out. You saw in her fight with Cyphers. I mean, that finish was pretty nasty.
I'm just saying, if you follow her on Instagram, she's kind of wild, bro. She's kind of wild. I even messaged you about that one day, and you were like, you had a straight up answer, like you had to talk to her about it. So we're gonna get by real quick. I don't want to dig into what you and I suppose we're talking about, dude. But next up, we got. This is a spicy one right here, boys. I'm anxious to hear what the panel has to say about this. We have Jim Miller coming in 32-14 versus Vince from Hell Pushell 12-2. Nikki, you got some odds on this one, sir?
Yeah, the funny thing is Jim Miller is a plus 110 on six books right now. That's a lot agree on that, I guess. And then you get the comeback on Vince at minus 120 all the way up to minus 140, 125, 130. Right in between 125, 130 would be the average. Maybe a little higher.
Guru, how about you pop this one off, sir?
Yeah, this is a good fight. I mean, Jim Miller just recently fought. He went in there. He got that quick finish over Roosevelt Roberts, and that's kind of been his MO lately. I mean, he's gone in there. When he wins, he gets quick first-round finishes. I don't think he's won a fight that's gone past the first round since he beat Thiago Alves at UFC 205. So I think that was in 2016. So he usually either goes in there, gets the first round finish, or he'll lose a decision. But when you look at everyone that he's fought, the only guy, like literally, if you look at his whole career, the only guy that he lost to that wasn't in the top 15 was Scott Holtzman. That was it. That's the only guy he's ever lost to outside the top 15 in the UFC. And he's fought like, I don't know, over almost 30 fights in the UFC. So, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Vince Pichel, I don't get who has he beaten or what has he done that warrants him being the favorite in this fight. I mean, I don't get that. He fights once a year. He's older than Jim Miller, and he doesn't really have a great skill set. I mean, he has decent striking. He will switch stances, better kicks than Miller for sure, and his boxing is pretty good. But I mean, I think Miller hits a lot harder than Vince Pichel. I mean, Vince Pichel has some knockouts against like Damian Brown and these low-level guys, but Jim Miller hurts a lot of guys that he fights with that straight left. Really nice low kicks, and I think if he gets on top and on the ground, I think the fight will be over. I mean, I know Vince Pichel also has 20% takedown defense, which is like horrendous. So, I mean, when you look at his fights too, since he came back from the like 3 knee surgeries that he's had, he gets taken down by everyone and gets taken down super easily. Like Roberts took him down super
Roberts,
easily.
that's what I was going to say.
Gregor Gillespie took him down like 15 times, submitted him in less than 2 rounds. Man, I mean, I think Jim Miller is better than him everywhere. I think he's younger. He's had less injuries than Vince Pichel. I mean, Vince Pichel hasn't had maybe the miles like in the cage, but that dude's had like 7 surgeries in the last 5 years. So I'm going to go. I think Jim Miller is going to win in the first round. I think the line flipping is kind of crazy. I don't get how, like I said, I don't get what Vince Pichel has done to warrant being a favorite over Jim Miller. But yeah, I got Jim Miller winning here.
Yeah, I'm going to parry to that because Miller is younger, but he's been through more wars. You know what I mean? Pichel's been hurt, but he's 5-1 all the time. Yeah, he's 5-1 in the UFC right now, and that's in his last 6 fights, but that's since dating back to like 2014. So he's very inactive. I don't know. This guy shows up sometimes and just surprises you. Obviously, Jim Miller is definitely the better grappler here. We know this. If he gets down to the mat, which is where he wants to be in this fight, it's Jim Miller's world. I mean, even if it's all 3 rounds, it's Jim Miller's world. It's not just first round. You know what I mean? I don't think I can bet this fight. I don't know. Jim Miller first round submission. Do we have props on that?
First round.
Remember, guys, he submitted Roberts, Gita, Jason Gonzalez, and Alex White, and that's his submissions in the last like 4 years, something like that. The rest were him getting submitted or him getting knocked out. So it's not like he's subbing the best of guys.
But Vince is kind of in that level, right? I mean, what's his best win?
He's in that Roberts level. Yeah, he's in that Roberts level.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why it's an interesting fight. I get why people fade Miller, especially when he was a big favorite. I mean, I wouldn't have played him at like minus 180, obviously. I mean, I feel like, you can't take that type of juice on Miller now, but just looking at who they fought and the skill sets, I mean, Pichel's only advantage in the fight is cardio. That's it. I mean, he has no other advantages. So, I mean, that's just my opinion, I guess. But
no, I get it. I mean, like I said, I had my notes. I'm like, does Vince fit the resumes of these guys above? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, he somewhat does. You know what I mean? He's so inactive. He's been hurt. Yeah, he comes off a fabulous win off Roberts, and now he's the shit. So it's like, is it like last week with James? I said, he's the reason why that line dropped from minus 220 to basically a pick him is because recency bias. That's what it was.
And you guys remember Pichel's fight with the other grappler, that Russian dude? That guy was like fucking slamming him on his head, dude. Who was that? Hustam Kabulov. Yeah, he was like suplexing him, dude. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, Vince Pichel, I'm just not sold on the guy.
I think that was his first fight in the UFC.
Yeah, it was, but he was on Ultimate Fighter too and shit. Like I know he lost to like Ally.
Yeah, those exhibition bouts, 2 rounds. No, I was looking at that. I don't count those when I count them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but yeah.
That was that crazy season they did live. So like I think Chiesa won, and he fought like 5 fights in like 2 months or something.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was like that's the only tough live season I think they ever did.
That's right. I forgot about that. Braidster, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I like Jim Miller a lot. I actually did bet him at plus 110. I don't know. Guru made a lot of fantastic points. Things that really stuck out to me was first Pichel's 20% takedown defense. So I went back and watched tape, and it seems like whenever somebody wants to take him down, they get him down. And I don't know if it goes to the ground with Miller. I think Miller's going to submit him, and I think he's going to submit him in the first round. So that's my bold prediction of the week is Jim Miller round 1 submission. I just think, like Guru said, he's better pretty much everywhere. I think on the feet it's pretty close, but I don't know. Pichel averages 4.25 takedowns per 50 minutes. I'm, pretty sure he's not going to want to take down Miller. So that's taking a lot of Pichel's game away from him. And on the feet, I do think it's close enough to where I think Jim Miller is going to win that first round. He usually does, that he can maybe squeak out, the second or third round as well. So even win a decision. So I think he's going to, I think he's going to win a submission, but I think the decision is on the table as well. So I bet him at plus 110. Once I saw him go to underdog money, I had to jump on. I put 1 unit on that. But also, looking at the submission prop as well, looking at the first round prop as well.
This has been John at me all freaking week. And I'm like, why can't I take Miller right now? And it's that Roosevelt fight, but I'm taking it now. I'm jumping on Miller. He's got the Lyme disease under control. As you can see, he's been looking so much better. I'm jumping on him as well. Make it Dose. Or is that Trace?
Well, yeah, I have a bet on Miller, but you guys I got at 105, so you guys will get a little bit better line. I got plus 105.
I like it.
Yeah, I was kind of on the edge. This is just one of them fights that I watched some tape, and I kind of have a hard time reading Miller. Like when I'm on Miller, he loses, and then when I'm off of him, he smokes people. So it's which Jim Miller are we getting? Since the Jim Miller has came back from Lyme disease, he's been a beast since I think Guru said it, since the Scott Holtzman. But Vince isn't Scott Holtzman. He's not going to put the pressure on him. He's not going to be able to just be beefy and absorb, what Scott Holtzman can. Scott Holtzman is a pretty good athlete, pretty good takedown defense. I was a slight lean to Vince before, but just with that dog money, to me, just Jim Miller is so dangerous in that first round. So just like Brady said, you kind of got to give the first round to Miller anyway, because Vince starts out slow, Miller starts out fast. If Miller doesn't finish him in the first round, he's at least probably going to win at 10-9, right? From the pressure against the cage, level changing, always having Vince on the defense. So then you lock up 1 round for Miller. The next 2 rounds is going to be close. I can see him at least winning one of those 2. I can see him winning the second, and if he gasses, it will be the third. Vince comes back. Vince isn't going to finish Jim Miller, I don't think. I think if Vince wins, it's a decision. But I think that Jim can win a decision or he can finish him. So I'll probably go matter of fact, I'm going to go put a play on Miller right now, just straight up on that plus money. And then maybe come fight time, I might take a sprinkle on that first round. So
that's Quattro. That's Quattro 4 on him.
I like it.
So there we go, boys. Let me, Nikki, go ahead and take care of that. Let me go ahead and lock this in. What's the next fight?
Next up, we got Mr. Pineda versus Mr. Herbert Burns. Interesting weigh-in scenario. Guru, you think Burns didn't look too happy, huh?
Yeah, he didn't look that good at the weigh-ins, but at least he made the weight, and he didn't look very good at the weigh-ins. What did you guys think?
Lock in, boys.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mo?
I just said I locked that in. What'd you say, Guru?
We're just saying, how do you think Burns was bad at the weigh-in?
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, and in my opinion on that, that's kind of like the Martinez.
I don't know why I said he made weight. He weighed like 150, right? I don't know why I was saying that. Yeah, he was like 149 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like 3 pounds over, right? Something like that. So normally if you go by what I've seen I don't have them in front of me just off my memory, and it's not that well, been hit in the head quite a few times, but roll with me for a second. So the times that, hold on a second. Where'd it go? I lost my place, boys.
It's all right. It's all right. Shit happens. And then
it does. Keep it rolling, boys. Keep it rolling, and I'll come back to it in a second. Got a lot.
The odds, though, real quick on it. We got Pineda at plus 240, but hovering right around the plus 210.
Oh, I remember. Boom. So if you normally go and you see somebody weighing in, and they weigh like a TJ Brown, misses by a half a pound, you got to worry about that because that means these boys were struggling. These boys have next to hardly any body fat unless your name is Chris Dawkins or Parker Porter. Then you got all the body fat. But when you start draining water off the brain and you're a half a pound over and you're struggling, then that's something to worry about. But to me, if you're like 3 pounds out, that's kind of like just like you were like, screw it, I'm going to risk me burning myself out and be halfway decent tomorrow. And that's kind of what we saw with Martinez. Even though Martinez got on the scales, he was slouching over. He didn't look that good. Burns didn't look that good either. But I think Burns is going to rehydrate, and he's going to come out looking like a beast. So sorry about that. Had a brain fart. But, yeah, Guru, what you think about it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of disagree, though. I mean, I feel like Burns looked, like, horrible, like, in terms of, like, when you look at someone, like, he had his sunglasses on, he was, like, shuffling to the – he didn't look – like, Martinez, I thought, looked a lot better, like, in terms of, like, just, like, having more energy and stuff.
I'm just talking about posture and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just – but, yeah, no, go ahead. I was talking about posture and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I got it. But, yeah, I mean, I'm still going to be on Burns here, but I do think Pineda's like a dangerous guy. I mean, obviously, he's finished all of his wins. I think he has 18 submissions, 9 knockouts. And in his last, where he fought on the PFL, he did pop for steroids. But, I mean, he was a huge underdog in both of the fights. I think, like, versus that Russian undefeated guy, he was, like, plus 1,000. He went out there and knocked him out in, like, 30 seconds. Then he finished Jeremy Kennedy, who's a pretty good grappler, fought in the UFC. I think he was like 3-1 in the UFC, only lost to Volkanovski. So he's a pretty good fighter, and Pineda submitted him. So, I mean, Pineda has plus skills everywhere. He's going to be the more physical guy, like more explosive, more power. But Burns, obviously, is going to be more technical. And the thing with Pineda is he kind of gets tired in fights. He'll throw a lot of these spinning kicks that I don't really like. Like he'll like off balance himself with those, get put on his back, and it seems like later as the fight goes on, he'll get more tired and just accept bottom position. And against Burns, I don't know if that's going to be good. I think Burns could submit him if he does that. He has been submitted, I think, like 5 times. But obviously in that first round, you always have to be careful with the explosive guy like Pineda. So it's an interesting fight. I'm going to go with Herbert Burns with the finish in the second or the third. But yeah, I mean, the weigh-in today didn't really, help my confidence.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Pineda's what, that kill or be killed type fighter, right? I mean, just balls to the wall, right in the table, flop him, right in the table type thing. But wasn't he? He was right. His last 2 fights overturned for steroids, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's a bit of a juice monkey. You know what I mean? And I think that being said, he did look good at the weigh-ins. You know what I mean? But when it comes to juice, that gives you everything. That gives you better eye-hand coordination. You can last longer. I'm not talking about in bed. I've been talking about everywhere. That being said, Burns, he looked a little bit unhappy, but I think he was unhappy because he missed weight, and it looks bad upon himself. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's not just an elite BJ. He's not just elite, on the ground. He's not just a BJJ practitioner, guys. His striking is getting better and better every single fight. So I like Burns here. The line's wide as hell, but would I be surprised if Pineda put his lights out? No, absolutely not. But I do think Pineda gets, tapped. So Burns by submission.
What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, the weigh-ins were pretty concerning. I mean, Burns didn't look too good. But I do like him to win this fight. But that's something to think about, like in the back of your head. The line is pretty wide. It's closing in a little bit, minus 260. I think he was like close to like minus 300 a couple days ago. So people are seeing the weigh-ins and putting some money on Pineda, and fairly so. But I do think Burns wins this fight. Like Nick said, his striking's improving every single fight. I do think I'll give the slight edge to Pineda on the striking there, but I do feel like this fight hits the ground at some point, and at that point, Burns has the way better BJJ. Pineda's been submitted like 6 times, and I just think that's what's going to happen here. But in the back of your head, it's like, is that weight cut going to affect Burns? How's he going to look? Is he going to be able to rehydrate, get in there, and look good? I don't know. So personally, I'm staying away from this. If anything, I was looking at the under. Fight doesn't go to decision is like minus 425, so it's safe to say this is going to finish inside the distance. Pineda, in all 26 of his wins, they're all finishes, and we've seen Burns get 2 great finishes his first 2 UFC fights. So I think this is going to finish, and I think Burns is going to sub him, but don't be surprised if maybe Pineda knocks him out or something.
Okay.
I'm right there with you. I think the fight finishes either way, whether Burns snatches up some type of guillotine, transition, rear naked choke, some kind of just wicked stuff, or Pineda comes out slinging bombs, clips him, something like that. So my play would be inside the distance. I'm going to go Burns, though. I think Burns is going to ultimately get the choke. I think you got to ride Burns until you get a serious matchup for Burns, or we see a different look. We've seen a pretty dominant Herbert Burns so far. So that's what I'm going to roll with, Burns by sub. But the bet would be, which I haven't locked it in, we'll check it out tomorrow. So I'm not just super, super confident with it, because something like this, we could see some kind of crazy decision, something like that. So I'll wait till tomorrow. I probably will put just a little something on this. But the pick is Burns.
You know what I mean, Mr. Corbin Watts? If you don't want to hear it, get the out. It was in the chat now. Someone says I say, you know what I mean a lot? It's because you know what I mean type thing. You know what I mean? So that being said, choke on him. I think I skipped the fight on accident. It's Dodson and Merab fight was before that, I believe. Right?
Oh, yeah. No, we'll hit that one. It ain't no thing.
Chicken wang.
Next up, we'll hit that one right here. We got John Dodson coming in 21-11 versus Merab Dvalishvili, and that is beautiful pronunciation for an Arkansan. 11-4 Merab Dvalishvili. I'll go ahead and say it for you, Boston.
All right, right now we got Dodson plus 225, best case scenario, which is a decent line on him. But he's dropped to plus 195, plus 200-ish. I think he was higher than that before, wasn't he, guys? I think some money on Merab. On Dodson, because Merab's a minus 250, 230-ish. I don't know what it opened at, but I could have sworn that Dodson was a little bit higher than that. But hey.
Okay, well, there you go. What you think about it, Big Brain Brady?
Yeah, I like Merab in this fight. It's just this is his toughest matchup yet, and Dodson has very, very good takedown defense, 80% takedown defense, but I still think Merab's going to get him down. We got to think about the smaller cage, so Dodson's not going to be able to stick to the outside, use his speed as well, and I think Merab's going to be able to close the distance and hold him up the cage and take him down. I don't really see him holding him down. He doesn't have the best top control, and Dodson has a very good get-up game, so I can see him just wearing against Dodson against the cage for a lot of part of the rounds, taking him down a couple times per round, and just not really let Dodson do his game plan of sticking to the outside, trying to land the big shot. I would, give Dodson more of a chance to win this fight, but he just doesn't throw much. He averages 3.3 significant strikes per 15 minutes compared to Merab's 3.84. So Merab's throwing more. They're not as significant, but he's still, throwing more than Dodson. Dodson's trying to land that one shot. Merab has a pretty good chin. I don't really see Dodson knocking out Merab, but if Dodson wins, it's probably going to be a knockout. But I went ahead and I locked up Merab about a week ago, minus 135 to win by decision. And I think I got some pretty good value on that because I don't really see Merab finishing Dodson. Dodson's never been finished. And Merab has a 27% finish rate, which is the worst on the whole card. So give me Merab and give me by decision. I think it could be a little iffy in the first round, but I think he's going to wear on Dodson and end up getting him very tired, end up just taking him down easier and easier as the fight goes on.
Yeah, you got value. It's minus 165 right now. Fight Merab to win by decision. So you beat that by 30 cents. It's no surprise here what Merab's going to try to do. He's going to check him, try to take Dodson down to the mat, and he's going to try to either choke him out or just ride top control for 3 rounds and land some hammer fist here and there. With this smaller cage, I think it's going to make it tough for Dodson to do what he wants to do, which is circle nonstop, and then engage when he wants to engage. I think we're going to see his back hitting the fence a lot as he's circling, and I think Merab's going to be able to take him down for that reason easier. So the line's a little bit wide. I wish Merab was. I think Merab should be lined literally around minus 170, minus 190. It's a little bit high. But that being said, I think Merab still wins this fight and by decision. So good bet. Yeah, you beat 35 cents, 30 cents or so.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, I think that Dotson, he's obviously going to come in with the same style he always does, right? I mean, he's had almost 20 fights in the UFC. I don't expect him to come in with a different game plan here, but he's really well-rounded. He's obviously the best guy that Merab's ever fought. And his game plan, in every fight is just to, run away and try to, land that big left hand. And, he's tricky. He obviously, has good footwork, good movement, and good counter punching, really fast. And his takedown defense and his get-ups are really good. I mean, he might get taken down, but he's really hard to control on the ground. He'll pop right back up. So I do kind of think that Merab, I think he's going to have to use his striking a little more in this fight, and I think he will. I mean, he does have a big left kick to the body. He throws his kicks really nice. I mean, good spinning kicks as well, big overhands. He throws a lot of wild shots, but he throws everything with full power, and he throws a lot more volume than Rob, even on the John, even on the feet. So I think that he's going to maybe show off a little more striking to set up the takedowns, because if he just goes in there just trying to spam takedowns against Dotson will probably be able to defend that. So I think he will try to set it up a little bit more with the striking in this fight, and just out volume him and win a decision, get some takedowns, mat returns. I don't think he's gonna get a lot of top control time or get a submission. I'd be really surprised, but I think he'll probably win a decision, like they said.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, boys. I locked Merab in by decision. I got it for, let me look. I locked it in at minus 140. Locked it in Wednesday, something like that. So I'm right there with you. I think he's just going to spam those takedowns. Small cage. I think Dotson's going to be able to be scrappy, just like Dotson. Dotson's going to do what Dotson does. He has a one-shot, power knockout chance type, but let's look. Dotson, smaller 135er, really belongs 125. He's a little thicker now, but he's a natural 125er, smaller dude. Merab's a big 135er. Dude's a strong dude. I don't think Dotson packs that one punch power to just drop Merab, finish him be done. I think Merab's going to have him constantly be on the defense, takedowns. He doesn't have good top pressure. And Dotson has good get-ups. He's not easy to take down, but Merab is just so consistent with that chain grappling. He'll come in, press you against the cage, try to go for that double. If he can't get it, where most people will give up, Merab will chain grapple, step out, try to snatch that single up, put it in between his legs. He'll try to run the pipe, try to get you down that way. Well, if that don't work, guess what? He'll abandon that, either go back to the double or come back up to the body. He's going to be constantly making Dotson be on the defense, and with that, I see him being going to win a decision. So yeah,
and to answer Jason Folk's question, with the smaller cage, I think it's not going to matter as much as it would if it was in the regular size cage. He doesn't have that room to circle like he's used to, in and out and circle. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's going to pay a huge dividend, a huge factor in this fight.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I like Dotson, but let's not. I mean, Dotson's getting older, guys. And I mean, how old is Dotson? Do y'all know? Is he 35, something like that?
I'm not sure. I know he's in his 30s.
35, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and those smaller weight classes, you can be 40, 41 and banging out in the heavyweight division, but you can't be older in the smaller weight classes. You start losing your fast twitch muscle, and it will start going downhill a little bit for Dotson. He'll start losing the speed. I don't know if it's this fight, but I'm fairly confident that Merab's going to pick up that decision.
That's for you, Masio.
Next up, we got Mr. JDS, former heavyweight champion of the world, 21-7, coming in facing Jairzinho Rozenstruik, 10-1. Nikki, you got some odds?
Yeah, right before that, guys, we're just we're hitting 300, 315 was before.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's all.
That's what I was going to say. Hey, before you go, Nikki, let's do this real quick, guys, because this is a must. So if you could take this time to hit the little X button if you're on a mobile device, hit the little X button and go smash that like button. Because if you're enjoying the content, that's how YouTube knows. Plus, the bosses go look at this stuff. and we're in competition. We need to have a like NATO right now. So if you can, go smash that like button, and I'm going to watch it right now. We're at 91, guys. We got over almost 300 people in here. If you could, go smash that like button, and let's get those likes. So there we go. I see 100. We got 4 dislikes. We love you people out there, too. One-on-one.
Right. Manny, Souza, irregardless, Bobby Swagger. What's up, brother? I know you're glad you came. Will Wowie, all the shit. Zoe. Everybody, man. Everybody.
I appreciate each and every one of y'all. There we go. We see a like spike. There we go. We're at 107 now. 110. Let's go. So we're going to let y'all, y'all continue that like spike. If you're on the PC, just scroll down. It's easy. Just click it. Boom. That's what y'all can do for us. I'm going to check back on it in a second. We're at 115 right now. Let's get on to this next fight, and I'm going to check it back in a second. Guru, how about you pop this heavyweight bout off for us, sir?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. Again, I mean, I think this fight.
Do you want the odds?
Oh, yes. My apologies. Go ahead, sir.
I'll give them to you. I promise. Plus 112, best case scenario. It's weird. Some books they have no clue to do with each other. You know what I mean? Plus 100, minus 105, minus 110. It's a slight pubic hair of a favorite to Mr. Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
There you go. Guru, would you pop this one off, sir?
Yeah, I mean, JDS, obviously, former champion. He has the way better pedigree. I mean, he's beaten guys like Fabricio Verdum, Cain Velasquez. He's been in there with, the best heavyweights in the world. But Jairzinho, he's obviously, the newer guy in the UFC. He's been in there with some guys like from JDS's era, kind of like Overeem, Arlovsky. He was able to get the win over them. So if he can get a win over JDS, I mean, Rozenstruik's resume will start to look decent at least. But I think that just JDS, obviously, on paper, I think he's the better fighter with the movement, with the boxing. Obviously, I feel like he's better on the ground. He's a black belt. His wrestling isn't bad when he goes to it. His defensive wrestling is pretty good as well. And both these guys train at ATT, so they're both getting, good training out there. But I just think that JDS is going to do what he always does, which is keep it on the feet, box, try to keep the range. But he likes to brawl in a lot of fights, man. I mean, he'll move early. He'll throw his leg kicks. He'll throw the jab, the 1-2, keep the distance. But he always seems like he wants to go in there, try to brawl. And like we saw him throw that big shot against Francis, get counter taken out. And Jairzinho, he's a really good counter striker, kickboxer, a lot of power. His ground game seems to be lacking. But like I said, I just don't see JDS exploiting that here. We did see him survive on the ground with Overeem, who I think is a lot more dangerous on the ground than JDS is. I mean, we've seen Overeem hit a lot of submissions. He has really nasty ground and pound. JDS really never uses his grappling. So, man, I just feel like Jairzinho, even though he's maybe not as good a fighter, and honestly, I hope JDS wins. I just think Jairzinho is going to catch him and knock him out at some point. So I'm going to pick Rozenstruik here.
I mean, yeah, ironically enough, both these guys train over at Coconut Creek ATT, and they've never sparred together ever, not once. But their coaches have both coached each other. You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting how they're going to be in the corners. You know what I mean? Because both guys know each opponent very, very, very well. But that being said, JDS is just another guy at this point in his career that I just can't bet on. You know what I mean? I try to find a way to fade him type thing. And I think this might be the perfect place. He's been knocked out in his last 2 fights, like you just mentioned, I believe, Nagano and Blades. You know what I mean? And Blades is not known for knocking dudes out, nonstop. He's more of a, you know what I mean, take you down and grind you out type guy. But Rozenstruik, if he chooses to stand and bang, if JDS chooses to stand and bang with Rozenstruik, he's getting knocked the F out. He's going to be camel-lipped just like Overeem got camel-lipped. So for me, it's Rozenstruik. I already bet him. I got him at a decent line. Let's effing go.
What you think about it, Mr. DFS?
I mean, that's great to hear from Guru and Nick, because it seems like I thought I was the only person on Rozenstruik, and I like him a lot here. I did tape this last week. I bet this fight a lot earlier than I should have. I got Rozenstruik at minus 150. It's like minus 120. So that kind of sucks. But, man, I still am confident in him. Even the line movement I still like him to win this fight. On paper, it's JDS all day. All the numbers are in favor of Dos Santos. He's a legend of the game. I mean, he's probably the better fighter here. But, watching the tape back, the first thing I looked for was, does JDS go for takedowns? And the answer is no. 2 takedowns since 2012. 8 years, 2 takedowns. And in the Ngannou fight, I was expecting him to maybe come in there.
Are you serious?
What?
2 takedowns in 8 years?
Yeah, since 2012.
Wow.
So that's not what he does. And then in the Ngannou fight, I was expecting maybe he comes out here and looks for some takedowns. No, he didn't. And look what happened. He got knocked out. People are really underestimating the power of Rozenstruik. I mean, we saw what he did to Overeem. We saw what he did to Alan Crowder. He knocked him down with the jab. I mean, this dude is very, very powerful. And watching tape on Dos Santos, I mean, he looks like he's slowing down a little bit. He leaves a lot of openings, and you can't do that in this division. In the Ngannou fight, like a huge overhand, I think it was an overhand right that Ngannou was able to easily counter. And then in the Blades fight, he was leaving a lot of openings, and he got knocked out by Curtis Blades on the feet. I just think that durability is not there. When I look at it this way, I give the durability advantage to Rozenstruik. I think he has a good chin, and there is a lot of recency bias since he did get knocked out by Francis Ngannou, but Ngannou hits like an absolute truck. So I'm not looking into that too much. And the power advantage is Rozenstruik as well. So JDS has been knocked out 5 times. He's 36 years old. I think he's towards the end of his career. I think Rozenstruik knocks him out here. And like I said, I have a bet on him. I wish I would have waited, but I really wasn't expecting the line to get this close to kind of like almost a pick him now.
Brady, he's been knocked out 5 times, and then the other fights that he hasn't been knocked out in, they're absolute wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he went through a lot of wars. Yeah.
Right, like the one he won against Cain Velasquez. That was a war. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not to mention, what I'm trying to get at here, in my point of view, is if JDS cannot implement that ground game, he is screwed.
And the thing I wanted to mention was that small.
Well, I don't think that. Like kind of how I think. I mean, JDS is a good boxer. I mean, JDS is an excellent boxer. He has excellent footwork, and Rozenstruik does not throw at a high volume. It took him and the Overeem fight was 5 rounds, right? Yeah. I mean, it was 5 rounds. It took 24 minutes and 50 seconds for him to take that low volume that he's throwing and find the chin.
Overeem, though.
Overeem.
I mean, JDS is a former champion, bro. Overeem ain't even a former champion.
You can't compare Overeem to JDS right now.
What are you talking about, bro? JDS is a former champion.
Way more shot than Overeem.
Overeem put him out. Overeem knocked out JDS though.
Yeah, I think y'all are sleeping on JDS. I'm not confident he ran out there and bet it. I just don't think that there's a lot of. I don't think that there's a lot of dogs on the card that I give a shit about. But this one right here, to me, has JDS shitting all in y'all's faces, and like y'all are talking about that. I've only heard Rozenstruik. That's all I've heard is Rozenstruik, and I think JDS is coming in good shape. I mean, if he gets crazy, if he's smart, he'll at least go for a takedown. But I don't even see him winning that. I think that Rozenstruik's going to throw such low volume that can he get caught? Yes, he can get caught. And if he gets caught, this is how I see him doing it. And y'all let me know what you think about this. What's the main punch that JDS loves to catch people with? Besides the overhand, he just throws an uppercut. He tries to catch people coming in, and he'll throw an uppercut. And what does that do? When you're right here, that leaves this wide open. So I am worried about that because he does feint that uppercut a lot. So I'm worried about Rozenstruik catching him right there. So that's kind of I just don't think Rozenstruik has enough volume to where he's going to be able to get to JDS. I mean, he had to work to get to Overeem, and I think that JDS has better footwork than Overeem. I mean, Overeem's Overeem. Overeem's a pretty generic dude now.
I mean, he can do everything, but JDS back in the day, definitely different story. But I think JDS knocked out Tai Tuivasa with a nice left hook, right? Yeah, it was a left hook. Yeah, it was the hook.
He was in Mount, remember? He dropped him, and then because the only reason why I remember that is because Tuivasa was like throwing punches back from bottom for some reason, and like didn't know what he was doing. So
it was weird. It was one of those weird things. Like, what the hell did I do once I get?
This isn't me just profiling, but did Derek Lewis and Rozenstruik fight?
Nah.
No, Lewis and Ngannou fought.
JDS beat Derek Lewis though.
Yeah, JDS Derek Lewis. Okay, that's right. I knew there was some kind of combo of Derek. Lewis.
JDS beat Lewis, right?
Yeah,
he knocked him out.
No, or it was like a TK. But
was it a body shot and then he followed up with punches, right? A body kick or
Hurt on
something?
the body in the first round. Finish
Yeah.
it.
I think he pooped his pants or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's that,
Going back.
boys.
Hey, 3:30 in the chat. You hit the mark. Let's fucking go.
Boom, there we go. Let's see here. There you go, boys. We had 130 likes. That's a nice little like NATO. So if you could, just make sure we keep spamming that, guys. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button because we're going to be here every single Friday for the final weigh-in, giving you these picks and plays, giving you this banter every single UFC card.
Mo, you see that?
What's that, brother?
Y'all hear Hardy? You're talking about, I know you're not talking about, football player Hardy. You're talking about actually Hardy?
Football.
Who's going to fight Herb Dean for that mistake?
Dan Hardy?
Nah, they're
talking. Dan Hardy really come back? I mean, listen, he's a good fighter, but they got to give him a can for the first fight. Is that real?
They're talking about Greg Hardy. Hardy.
There it is. It's booked. Hardy versus Herb. Booked.
Greg
Book
Hardy.
it.
Maurice.
Hey, guys, also, this is all odds.com, baby. So don't forget to go check out odds.com. Even if you're not a reader like your boy, go over there, do us a favor, check out some articles, do your thing. So we got some trolls in the building. We see you. So let's go up to the next fight. We got the co-main event of the evening. We got a lot of people call this the people's main event. Hey, Brady, is this what you called this one? Is the people's main event?
It's the people's main event for sure. It's either that or the Jandaroba fight.
There you go. People's main event, baby. Sean O'Malley coming in a perfect record of 12-0 versus Marlon Chito Vera coming in 17-6-1. Nikki, you got some odds on this, sir?
Absolutely. Best case for O'Malley, minus 255, but hovering minus 260 to minus 290. It's weird. Then you got to come back at plus 235, hovering right around the plus 225 range.
Yo, big brain. How about you pop this one off, sir?
Yeah, I'm really struggling to pick a winner in this fight, and it really shouldn't seem that way looking at the odds. But Marlon Vera is a very tough out. But I just think O'Malley's going to win this fight with his striking. I think he's a better striker by a good margin. Marlon Vera gets hit a decent amount, but I am worried about in the later rounds. What's O'Malley going to look like in that second round, in that third round? What's it going to look like if Vera is able to get him down on the ground? And I don't know. So we're going to find out. I think it's going to be an absolute war. Marlon Vera has never been finished in 24 fights. Obviously, O'Malley undefeated has never been finished. So the bet I placed on this was fight goes to decision at plus 105. I can see O'Malley winning decision, and also maybe Vera is able to win that second and third round. I almost bet O'Malley by decision, but man, this is so close. I can really see it going either way. I think it's going to be a fantastic fight, but I just think O'Malley is going to be able to use his striking. I think he's a better striker by a decent margin. And Vera, something about him is he only averages 0.8 takedowns per 50 minutes. If he goes in here trying to get takedowns, I can see him, maybe finding a submission, maybe getting some top control, but I don't know. It's a very tough fight to call, but my lean is O'Malley. But I see a lot of people taking shots on Marlon Vera as an underdog. I don't hate that at all, especially for the line. I think you're getting tons of value, but overall, my pick is going to be Sean O'Malley by a pretty close decision, maybe controversial as well.
I really think that, this is O'Malley's test given to him by the UFC. You beat Chito Vera, then, maybe 2-3 fights from now, you might be fighting for the belt type thing. Because Chito is no tough out, no easy out. That is a tough, gritty son of a bitch. And if he can, like you said, implement those that ground game, and he can get his back somehow. That's his path to victory here is submission. I think. I don't think he sits there in the pocket and beats O'Malley to the punch type thing, because I think O'Malley's going to try to strike at range. But with the smaller cage, I think this benefits Chito times 10. Right? I think he'll be able to back him up to the cage, implement some sort of ground game easier by takedowns if he can, but most importantly, separate that distance that O'Malley wants. So I want to bet Chito Vera so effing bad to the point where I'm probably going to do it just to fade O'Malley straight up. But I don't think O'Malley he's not going to be a champion. I don't think that he has that in him. I think he's going to be one of those top 5 guys, top 10 guys that will hover in the weight class for a while until eventually he moves up and tries things in a different area. I've never been high on O'Malley. I think his fight IQ sucks. So I am picking O'Malley to win. I am not betting anything. I don't like the kid.
Yeah, man, I love this fight. I mean, just me personally, Cheeto Vera. I mean, he's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. So, like, man, I mean, the last few years, he just finishes all these dudes. He always brings it. He's always in really fun fights. So, just personally, I'm hoping he goes in there and gets the win, man. I mean, the UFC would hate it, but fuck, man, I hope Cheeto goes in there and shits on him a little bit. And it's a huge spot for Cheeto, man, way bigger than O'Malley because just personally to me, like Cheeto, this is like a lottery ticket. Like if he wins this fight, he'll probably get another main event, co-main event. He'll fight probably a top 5 guy, top 10 guy. If he loses, he'll be back to, I don't want to say obscurity, but he'll be like, fighting guys outside the top 15 again on the undercard. Where if O'Malley,
he'll be on the prelims for sure.
Yeah, if O'Malley loses, I mean, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I mean, it will like hurt him in the like short term, but if he can win 2 more in a row after he loses to Vera, he'll be like right back in the same place where he is now, in my opinion. So, I mean, man, it's a great fight. I think obviously in the first round, O'Malley's really good. I mean, he has some of the best striking in the division. I mean, you can't deny that he has great fakes, great feints. He really controls the distance really well. You could see Eddie Wineland was like biting on every feint that O'Malley was throwing in that fight, and he looks super fast, really, throws really straight punches down the middle. Those kicks that he was throwing were like skimming off the top of Eddie Wineland's head. I mean, really nasty kicks. He knocked him out real clean. And I mean, you could tell he has power in that right hand. Obviously, he puts people out with one shot. But if you look at his fights that got extended, I mean, I just wasn't that impressed. Like when he fought Terrion Ware, that he lost the second round in that fight. And the third round, he had to get a takedown to win the fight. So, I mean, that was a long time ago, but Terrion Ware kind of dogged him out on the feet. He got the takedown third round, won the fight. So that did show some grit for O'Malley. And then in his fight with Sukumtath as well, he got tired in that fight, got hurt in the third round, and barely won the fight. Cheeto Vera, I mean, he's a guy that starts slow in all his fights. So that's why the first round is really scary. I mean, O'Malley could maybe come out here and knock out Cheeto, but Cheeto's super durable. I mean, we've seen him in there with Song Yadong, who throws super hard. He took a lot of shots from him. He won that fight with John Lineker in Brazil and won the third round against John Lineker, who probably, you could argue, probably hits the hardest out of anyone in that division. And, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I think that early on, O'Malley is probably like 90% sure to win the first round. He's going to be moving around. He's probably going to be outlanding Cheeto by a pretty large margin, pot shotting him. But I think if that gets into the second and the third round, it's going to be real dangerous for Sean O'Malley, man, because Cheeto has real super good cardio. His boxing is pretty good. And if he can back him up, force him to trade just in the pocket, O'Malley isn't as good there. I mean, he's good when he can move, keep the distance, pot shot. But in exchanges, I think Cheeto will be a little bit better. I think in the clinch, I mean, when he was fighting Terrion Ware, man, he was eating a lot of like Muay Thai knees, elbows in the clinch. And Cheeto is really good in that Muay Thai plum, and he's really good with the head positioning. He'll get his head like under your chin. You'll move your head where he wants it, throw elbows, throw short punches. And he'll hit that arm triangle position from standing as well. Really dangerous black belt too. I mean, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go with Cheeto Vera with a third round finish in this fight, and I did bet on Cheeto Vera as well. So, I mean, I feel like this fight should be like close to a pick 'em, and they got Cheeto almost a 3-1 dog. So
yeah, it's crazy.
You don't really get that. So yeah, I had to go with Cheeto here.
You know what? Cheeto Vera, by the way, is only in a 2-inch reach disadvantage. You know what I mean? You'd think it'd be a shit load, 2 inches.
Eddie Wineland is a little 135er, you know what I mean? Like he's not like Cheeto is going to be pretty big in there.
Yeah.
The thing with me is Cheeto starts a little slow to where Sugar starts a little faster. So kind of what we were talking about, where I was talking about with the Jim Miller, I don't think Cheeto's going to come out and finish Sugar Sean in the first. So then I can see, but Cheeto's tough. Sugar ain't going to just come out and pull counter, slip straight down the middle and knock out Cheeto. That ain't going to happen like he did with Mr. Wineland. So, but I can see Sugar taking round 1. And then that's where I can see Cheeto start stepping up his volume, and that's where it gets itchy. I just think that Sugar he has better technique. He has excellent striking. And do y'all really do y'all think Cheeto's going to come out and use his wrestling? Because if he doesn't, then he's going to lose.
I don't think it's going to be wrestling, but I think he's going to use forward pressure, like where he backs the guy up and Sean O'Malley doesn't have any space anymore. Like he's against the cage. So he's going to force exchanges on the feet, force like clinch exchanges as well. And I think it's going to get O'Malley really tired. I could honestly see Sean O'Malley shooting a takedown on Cheeto in the third round.
High elbow guillotine, right?
I could see him shooting a takedown on Cheeto and, Cheeto submitting him.
Locking it up. Yeah, my pick has changed to Cheeto, by the way. My bet was going to be there anyway. I kind of missed the line a little bit because a little bit of money went down a little bit. But no, going back to Cheeto, my original pick. I'm not going to change on Friday like I did last 2 times and lose those 2 fucking changes. Not happening. Cheeto is going to upset O'Malley.
So, Brady, DFS, DraftKings, what's your ownage on this, brother? You going both sides, apparently. But who's more? You playing a lot of each?
I'm actually going to play more of Vera. He's 7,000, which is the cheapest on DraftKings. And there's tons of upside. There's tons of volume. He's very tough. I don't see him getting finished even in a loss. I like him as a cash game play. And he could get a finish. I might take a look at betting Vera in the third round. Like I said, I already betted fight goes to decision at plus 105. Vera in the third round is plus 1,900. So I might sprinkle a 0.5 units on that to go along with my goes to decision just to kind of hedge it out. So I like that quite a bit. But Vera third round I think is very live. But man, I'm going with O'Malley still by decision.
Son of a gun.
Oh, you personally it seems like you're like the firmest on Sean. So what do you think the line should actually be? Like, you think it's a good line, or you think that
no. I think it should be like Sugar minus 150. I think this is not a coin flip fight. I think that Sugar is the more skilled fighter, and you got to put into consideration that the promotion is hyping him up. You know what I'm saying? So he's undefeated. He's not ever really just looked horrible. Like you said, the Ware fight, he didn't look the best. The was it Yuri Alcantara? No, Sukmanov. Horrible, he's so lucky that it wasn't Vera that he was fighting right there.
Oh, Vera
would have backed up. He said, "Get up, bro." Yeah, and then he would have lost. So, but I think it should be minus 150. And if it was that, then I would go out and bet him. But you can't play. What'd you say he is? He's at least 3-1, right? What? He's minus 3. What?
He was. Now he's minus 255 now.
Minus 255. Yeah, he was all the way up to what? Minus 3.
He was over minus 300 now.
Yeah. But no. So you said you are putting a bet on Vera?
Yeah, I already bet on Vera. So yeah,
what is Vera by sub? I want to see what Vera by sub is, because that's probably his best path to victory.
Yeah, and that MMA KO, what he's talking about, he has up right there. It's not
plus 660.
That's not too bad either.
Not horrible. Plus 660.
Yeah.
Vera
but
by sub.
I'm on Sugar.
660 and regular. Just a quarter unit bet. I can profit there almost a unit.
There you go. So what do you think the odds of that Sugar's going to do a twisting, spinning, double spinning roundhouse kick to the dome? He be coming with some creative stuff.
He's going to get friggin' jinxed for that fucking haircut he did, fucking disrespecting friggin' Argentina like that to his opponent, or wherever it is, right? Argentina? Yeah.
Venezuela or Ecuadorian.
Cheeto was saying it was funny because Ecuador, Venezuela, and Chile all have Colombia too have the same colors.
Oh.
He was like, I don't even know what country he dyed his hair. It could be Colombia, it could be Chile, it could be.
He got him. Oh, he got him.
Hey, did y'all see? He cracked a mom joke on Sugar too. I don't remember what it was, but he cracked a mom joke on him too. It's pretty funny.
I don't like those mom jokes.
Marlon Cheeto got I don't remember who it was, but someone interviewed him after today, it was a couple hours ago, and I guess Sean O'Malley I don't know what he posted, but he did some post where he put it was when Snoop Dogg was saying O'Malley or whatever.
Yeah.
And then under it, the caption was Marlon Vera's wife when I'm with Sean O'Malley or something like that.
Oh.
And then Cheeto was like saying like he was like, yeah, I saw that. He's like he'll pay for that or something like it. He was like,
I hope he fucking knocks his fucking wig loose, bro. I hope
like he also
Lewis did to a Lytic.
Yeah, somebody said something. They were like, "So is this getting to you what Sean is saying?" And he goes, "My skin is thicker than his mom." I was like, "Dang, Cheeto coming out swinging them heaters."
Yeah, but you could tell it was like crazy. Like they did the embedded, right? And they didn't show Cheeto one time on the embedded episode with O'Malley.
Bullshit,
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, bro, like it's crazy. And like Cheeto's actually like he's a good interview. Like he's like fun to listen to too.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Bro, I hope he freaking knocks O'Malley the F out, bro. Him and his little show he does, sits there on the freaking man.
Hey boys, we got a main event to talk about, boys.
Hold up. Danny has a proposition though. You see that, Mo?
What's that?
Nick, let's do a side bet. If Sean wins, you have to charge your profile. Oh, God.
Ooh, yes. Uh-oh, Nicky.
Oh, hell no, bro.
Nicky,
So, you're all right, real quick. Okay. So, what are the odds on that again? 3 to 1? We'll call 3 to 1. Okay, so what do I get out of it? You got to give me some juice. You got to give me something to actually want to do that for, because 3 to 1, it's a little rough, Danny boy. I love you, bro. Hey, you know what? We'll discuss it in the Discord.
Hey, so here's what it is. If Sugar Sean wins, next time out, Brady's got to wear a tank top on camera.
If Sugar wins,
yeah,
I mean that's fine.
If Sugar wins,
yeah,
there's a good chance it happens.
I know. I just want to see some bitch in tank top over here. I'm tired of seeing this dude in a hoodie. It's August, bro. I can't. I didn't want to see you in December, bro. It's gonna be Eskimo.
In December, I wear a tank top.
Because you keep it about 75 in the apartment,
Yeah.
You got a 63. There you go, brother.
Wait, hold on. And I was in the building real quick. Oh, there it is. There it is. I have to burn O'Malley in a parlay. Oh, okay. Oh, you burn and O'Malley in a parlay. Sorry. I don't want you to lose your parlay, but I want you to lose an ant. I love you, brother. You've been giving me some great baseball picks, putting money in my pocket. So I appreciate that, brother.
Money in the pocket. Boom. So, yeah, boys, we got a main event. We thank each and every one of y'all. We got 340 people in here. That's amazing on a Friday night. Y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all are choosing to rock with our Odd Squad, and we love you for it. So make sure you smash that like button. Also, hit that bell notification if you're not already subscribed. If you are subscribed, make sure go double check again, because YouTube be getting you sometimes. So go double check. Make sure you are bell notified, because there's a lot of content coming on odds.com. That's right. So we thank each and every one of you out there sitting out there. I'm pointing at you right now. You know what I'm talking about. I thank you.
What's up, Gabe?
Yeah, Big Gabe. What's up, brother? The main event of the evening, we have the champion Stipe Miocic coming in 19-3 versus the challenger Daniel Cormier coming in 22-2. Yo, Nicky, what are these odds on this, sir?
We got DC at a -4,000. Stipe coming back up. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, sign it up.
It's a pick'em. It's a pick'em. Straight up pick'em.
Nice. Guru, you gonna pop this one off?
Yeah, man. I mean, here we go. We got the last fight for DC. Well, I think Dana White said today he didn't think it would be his last fight, but
yeah, he doesn't want him to retire. He thinks he has a lot left, right?
He wants to fight Jones again.
Yeah. I mean, it should be a good fight, though. Obviously, I mean, the first two they knocked each other out, so they obviously can finish each other. And I mean, when you look at the weigh-in, Stipe looked like in really good shape. DC was the lightest he's ever been as well for a heavyweight fight. So they both look like they took it seriously. And, man, it's going to be a good fight. I mean, Stipe obviously it looks like to me like he has more one-punch power from the two fights. I mean, DC did get the knockout, but you could tell in that second fight when Stipe was landing on DC, landing that 1-2, it seemed like he was landing with a little bit more power, but DC is a lot faster. He landed way more volume in that first fight, and he was doing a really good job of in the inside. He was like getting a single collar clinch, landing a shot. He was fighting the hands and throwing over the top, things like that. So I thought his striking really looked pretty good in that fight. And obviously in the first round, he was able to get that high crotch dump, control on top. And that's what he said he wants to do more of here in this fight is wrestle more, try to at least threaten the wrestling, getting exchanges, even if he can't get constant takedowns. And I just feel like if he comes in here in better shape, I just think he's the better fighter. I think that he could get takedowns, but I think on the feet, he's also a little better as well. Obviously, Stipe had that, great adjustment where he started going to the body. DC got tired and he started slowing down the forward pressure, which when whoever went forward in both fights was winning the fight. I mean, when Stipe went forward, he was outstriking DC. He was able to stay a little bit longer. And when DC was going forward, he was clearly dominating the fight. So I just think if DC comes in better shape, like he has lost some weight, it looks like maybe he's in a little bit better shape than he was last time and can just go the 5 rounds or even can go 4 rounds or just win 3 rounds and survive the last 2. I think he'll win the fight, but I do think Stipe is live to get a late round finish, even an early round finish with his power. Both guys could finish each other at any point, but I think that Stipe will be better later on. But I'm going to go with DC here. I think that I'm actually going to say he wins by decision. I think that it's going to be maybe like 49-46, 48-47 type decision, but it's a good fight. I mean, Stipe could definitely win. So, yeah, I mean, let's see who the best man is here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even need to break this down to you guys. You guys know what needs to be done by each fighter. DC needs to mix in the grappling and the takedowns and not just sit there and strike with Stipe, who is a boxer. Let's get that. That's what he is. I don't know. You can do 2 things. You can bet DC 2 units straight up, and then you can bet Miocic by knockout at plus 235 at a certain amount of money and somewhat hedge it. The only way you lose that bet, is if Stipe wins by decision. I don't think he beats DC in a decision. Impossible. So I'm going to come up with the parlay formula here. I'm going to post it in the comments tomorrow. I already did it earlier. It's right around point. It's almost just under a unit you'll make, depending on how much you put down. So, yeah, I like a hedge bet on this one.
All right, so what you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, I like DC in this fight. I'm with Guru. A lot of what he said, I agree with it. The thing is, Stipe looked so good at the weigh-ins. He looked fantastic, like the best shape of his life. DC didn't look bad, but just compared to Stipe, I mean, Stipe looked he looked amazing. So I don't know. What I thought was DC's going to come in here with some better cardio, with a different game plan. I didn't like the game plan he fought last time. I liked what he did in the first round with the wrestling, but he didn't really have the cardio to do that. So maybe in this fight he does. I also do think DC is going to win a decision here. I think they can take the first 3. The last 2 will be pretty iffy, but I like DC here. I'm not going to bet it. I was looking at maybe betting DC. If it gets the plus money, I might take a shot on it. But for now, I'm just going to pass. Stipe just looked too good, and I think he's going to be really fresh in those later rounds. And I don't know what DC is going to look like in those later rounds. I don't know if DC is going to go on there and wrestle. What I did do is I bet the over 2.5 at minus 140. I like that quite a bit. I think that DC can win a decision, or I think Stipe can knock him out in like the 4th or 5th round. So I like the over. I might bet DC if it gets the plus money, but we'll have to see by fight time.
I'm right there. I'm on some DC as well. I wasn't mad how he looked at the weigh-ins. And from what I've heard from him, if you take the words out of his mouth, which you can't always because fighters say what they think you want to hear. But I've heard him say several times with his 22-foot cage that Stipe's right leg or his left leg's going to be right there, right in front of him, right for the picking, right for a nice little single leg. And he said he's going to be working it. He said that Stipe's going to, have fun being on the ground at least one time every single round. So I'm going to take his word on it. And also, he was on the Ben Askren podcast, and Askren goes, "Yo, DC, I just want to remind you that you can take this guy down anytime you want to. So don't be stupid and not go to the game plan." And he was like, "Ben, I know this is what we're going to do. I think DC probably really does retire after this. He seems like a smart dude. He's 41. If he ain't beating John Jones when he's 38, he ain't beating John Jones when he's 42. So I think he's going to be smart. He's going to get out. He's going to do what he needs to do to win this fight. And I think we're going to see a new heavyweight champion of the world and then him walk off in the sunset and become a great broadcaster. So, how are we betting this, boys? What's up, Nicky?
Before I even put that up there, this might be the last time we all ever talk about DC. Yeah, like in like an actual fight and break them down. You know what I mean? It really might be. And if that's the fucking case, like, fucking hat off to you, brother. You never probably see this in your life, but I don't give a shit. You've given me fucking joy, whether you lost twice against Jones. I mean, he's been inspiration to so many athletes. He's led by example as an MMA athlete. Pure mic drop, end of story. That guy has done what he – listen, 2-belt champion. Henry Cejudo, the cringe master, yes, as well. But, I mean, come on, to be the lightweight and heavyweight champion of the world. And
an Olympian.
Huh?
And he's an Olympian, too.
You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, man, respect. You want to run off to the sunset, right off to the freaking sunset, bro. But get that belt over your shoulder.
Yeah, man. That's why I hope he wins this one, too, because you don't want him to, be like – I don't know. He would be like the bridesmaid to John Jones and Stipe.
Yeah. He'll always be like the number 2.
Even though he did knock out Stipe, though. I mean, he did knock out Stipe.
2-1, though. So people have to say Stipe is the better fighter.
At 39 years old, DC versus Stipe, DC would fucking mow through him. You're looking at a 42-year-old right now that is still doing the damn thing.
I don't know. I mean, he could though. He could mow through him, but I don't want to. I can't disrespect Stipe like that, man. I mean, Stipe could beat him any day. I still feel like too. So
100%. No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, but like a couple 3-4 years ago, I mean, I wouldn't put them in the same ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Stipe isn't young either, so
yeah, that's true. Let's go.
I hope Brady. My bad. Go ahead, Guru.
No, it's all good. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna ask the big brain what he thought about this. What are you got a play on it? DFS, DraftKings. What you thinking, bro?
Yeah, I have.
Is this a stacking cash?
Yeah, it's 100% stacking cash. Like I said, I bet the over 2.5. I might bet DC if it gets the plus money, but I'm probably going to pass and just sit back and watch it. But on DraftKings, this is a must stack in cash. Even last time they fought, it was in the winning lineup, both of them in the GPP lineup. So I wouldn't go that far, but I think whoever wins this fight is going to be in the optimal lineup. I'm personally going 100% owned in this fight. I'm going to be going 55% DC, 45% Stipe. It was 60-40 DC Stipe, but after seeing Stipe at the weigh-ins, I'm going to go 55 DC, 45 Stipe. I think whoever wins is going to score a ton.
Yeah, my friend was saying that DC got over 100 in the loss last time, right? Still on draft.
Yeah, he got 95, I think. So, yeah.
5, yeah.
I got fight starts round 3 at -160. Love it. 10 minutes I need. You like it, Brady? Yeah?
Yeah, pretty much in the same boat.
Sweet. Let's roll.
Let's roll, baby. So, hey, guys, that's the card. We got 333 people decided to watch us regular Joe Blows tonight, and we thank each and every one of y'all. If you're not subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Guru, why don't you let them know where they can find you on social media, your YouTube, all that goodness.
Yeah, man. Prediction MMA on Twitter, Instagram at MMA Prediction Guru. Hit me up on in the DM if you want to talk or something. And then YouTube, MMA Prediction Guru. I always put out a prediction video usually on Mondays, so check that out. And yeah, thanks for all coming in. We had a lot of people coming on the show today, so that was awesome. And yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Yo, Niggy, why don't you let them know where they can find you, brother?
BossNick_UFC on IG, which I spent a little bit of time on, but it's Twitter for me, man. Mr. Fat Fist. Also, you can find me at Boston Nick MMA, but it's Mr. Fat Fist, no period, just MRFATFIST on Twitter. But you can always find me on Odds HQ. That's my home. That's my place. That's where I'll be for the day I die, as the Arcans would say, Mr. Mo. Am I getting good at it?
No, you're a piece of shit. Hey, Brady, how about you let them know where they can find you, brother?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. Same thing with YouTube, DFS by the numbers. Thank you all for hanging out. We had a bunch of people in the chat. That's awesome to see. Come back next week. We're going to keep doing this week after week.
That's how we do things. And this has been your boy Mo. You can find me on YouTube at MoStream TV. We're going to do some live streaming over there. So y'all guys make sure to go over there right now. Type it in, MoStream TV. Hit that subscribe button, because you never know when we're going to go live over there. Me and Brady, we do some DraftKings stuff. Me and Nikki and Guru, we used to stream all the time. I think we might be going back to a little bit of that. So, guys, make sure you are subscribed, MoStream TV. Also, one more thing, let's get out the way. Guru's favorite Twitter handle, MoStream Fight P1. You can find me there on Twitter, MoStream MMA, on IG. But another thing I wanted to plug, and Nikki, you run this, so maybe we can set this up. I saw in the chat tonight, and I know me and Guru have been talking about it. UFC 4, guys. I'm not asking you how you feel about it right now, but I see some people in the chat, a good amount of people in the chat have it. So I know Rambling and Gambling, they're starting a UFC 4 league. I'm going to be in it. There's going to be a couple other people.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you.
I'm going to buy it tomorrow then, or tonight.
Yeah. Let's set up a UFC 4 portion in the Discord so we can get some challenges, open challenges. We can get it going, mix it up on Twitch, whatever. It's going to be a good time. And that's exclusive to the Discord. So you have to make sure you find that link and join that Discord. So that's everybody.
Yeah, right now, guys. Just put it in again.
Danny, you don't want none, son. You see those biceps? I ain't going to show you the triceps. Guru, that's the man with the fat fist. That's the man with the fat brain. That's the man with the big biceps right here. That's the man with the string bean noodle arms over there. That's fun.
It moves.
And we love you. Shout out to odds.com for allowing us to do this. Shout out to the bosses of all bosses, Miss Cynthia. All of Odds Squad, we love you. Jimmy the Bag, we love you, brother. We out.
Peace.